young people love animals. And so we do always have groups that work with their local animal shelter, either making toys or doing something with the animals. But there's other groups that do get involved with maybe the senior population, or maybe they get really involved with a service group in their county or district that supports them in some way. And so they are able to give back to that service group in some way.
Thousands of Kansas 4-H members will put their hands to larger service, part of the 4-H pledge, the weekend of October 8th and 9th by participating in the 48 hours of 4-H. The goal is to challenge 4-H members in every extension unit to be service-minded leaders and to make an impact in Kansas and their local community. The weekend of service allows 4-H youth to work with their friends, 4-H alumni, parents, volunteers, partners, and organizations to show what 4-H does, how it serves others, and how much fun it is when everyone works together. On today's Sound Living, Making a Difference. Sound Living is a weekly public affairs program produced by Research and Extension at Kansas State University. I'm Jeff Wichman. Kansas 4-H Regional Specialist for Central Kansas, Beth Hinshaw, says that 48 hours of 4-H coincides with the end of National 4-H Week and the start of a new 4-H year. Beth, 48 hours of 4-H is coming up soon, and the emphasis is on giving back to the community.
Exactly. 4-H clubs and 4-H members have been known for their service. In our pledge, we say, I pledge my hands to larger service for my club, my community, my country, and my world. And so this really just helps us fulfill that pledge that we make every time we meet together.
One of the things that is unique about this is the opportunity for each 4-H club to really focus on a project of their choice.
Yes, we want the service to be meaningful to the young people, and we want it to make a difference in their community. The other thing is this really gives young people a chance to look at what is needed in my community. And, when we go down and, look at what's been registered, that's exactly what we see. Not everybody's doing a beautification project. Other people are helping maybe community partners, or people are collecting things that are needed in their community, but they've found something that they can do to make a difference where they live.
And some of these are ongoing projects, aren't they? Sometimes the clubs will kind of do a similar project year after year.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And, they have some of them have longtime partners that they work with. As I was looking through the list, we have one of our local units that they help with some kind of a Halloween walk every year. And, I noticed that that's on the list again this year. And yet there's other things that are new each year as well.
You mentioned partners, and that's really part of this too, isn't it? Is reaching out to the community and working with service organizations, even alumni from 4-H, and really as many people as possible.
Exactly. We have groups that are working with community partners like service clubs in their community, also with charities in their community. And we do ask when the project is over for people to do a report for us. And we always love to know how many alumni took part in this event. The other thing is, this is right at the beginning of the new 4-H year. And so it's a really great way to maybe get a new family who thinks that they're interested in 4-H. It's like, come take part in this service project with us. It's a great way to meet others in the club and to really have a good time doing something to serve the community.
And as you were mentioning, a lot of these projects vary. There are a number of just kind of ideas that are posted online, and some of those just seem to make a lot of sense, picking up trash along the road or the highway, planting trees or plants in the community. So really they do have a lot of things that they can focus on.
Yes, and really, they're only limited by their imagination and what's needed in their community. And, as we know, when you think about your community, there's all kinds of projects that are needed in all of our communities. So lots of options for them.
This also gives the 4-H members a chance to really reach out into the community, because I noticed a lot of these service projects involve either working with animals or working with people just from the community.
Yes, we like it when there is that connection that can happen. Young people love animals. We just had the Kansas State Fair, and, I think about going through the photography at the State Fair. How many pictures of cats and dogs, do we have? Because kids love that. And so we do always have groups that, work with their local animal shelter, either making toys or, doing something with the animals. But there's other groups that do get involved with maybe the senior population, or maybe they get really involved with a service group in their county or district that supports them in some way. And so they are able to give back to that service group in some way.
Another one I thought was kind of unique was going to the library and just reading with kids.
Yes. And, reading is so important. And that's even a project in 4-H, the reading project. And we also know that lots of our young people have great leadership skills and have a connection with those younger kiddos. So that's a great project as well.
You mentioned leadership, and kind of along those same lines, there is a lot that goes into this. This is not something that just happens overnight. This is something that the clubs plan and work on and really takes probably months to put together.
Yes, there's some projects that probably do take a long time, just because they're trying to get all the different pieces and parts together. Some of them are probably a little bit quicker. But, it does take a little bit of time to figure out what project you're going to do, and then, make all those connections. Does the day work for maybe wherever you're going to be doing the yard work or the painting or what have you? Do you have all the supplies? Do they have supplies? Who else do you need to invite? And then we also like it when our clubs let their extension office know what they're doing as well, because they may have some connections that maybe the club's not aware of that can help with the project as well.
Talk a little bit more about some of the benefits for the 4-H members. We've talked about the leadership aspect, but this really ties into the whole 4-H program, doesn't it?
Yes, most definitely. As I talked about our pledge, we pledge our hands to larger service in our communities. Anytime we're doing a project like this as well, we're working probably in small groups to do that. And so it really helps our clubs members get connected, for 4-H families to get connected. And, we love having that happen. Some of kids' best friends, come from 4-H often. And those things start with little projects and opportunities that they have to be together. And a lot of the things that clubs will be doing for this event are also helping young people maybe learn a skill that they didn't have before. We have a number of clubs that looks like are going to be doing some landscaping, different places. Well, that's going to be a skill for some kiddos that they have never, ever tried before. And, same way with some of the fundraisers and other things that kids are involved in through this project, that they're going to learn a skill that they haven't learned before.
In terms of how this all comes together, I know that not only do you want them to take part in the activities that weekend, but you also want them to document what they're doing, either through photos or other ways, so that you can measure how successful this is.
Yes, what we say is, this is our opportunity for all of us to focus this one weekend and see how much we can do across the state of Kansas. We do ask that clubs register their project, because we like to know where they're going to be and what they're going to be doing. And then we also ask them to document afterward, just like you said, with what happened, how many people were served, how many pounds of food did you collect, how many hours did you work on the landscaping, or, any of those kinds of numbers that helps us really quantify what went on. And then, of course, we love pictures. Pictures say 1,000 words, as they say. And so we always love to see what clubs have done through the photos. And we have lots of clubs who are really good about putting those up on social media as well, to really show, again, their community what it is that they're doing.
And in this day and age, that's almost expected, isn't it? That you're going to have pictures on Facebook and you're going to be tweeting and doing things on Instagram.
Yes, that is a given, I think.
And there's a hashtag that people could probably be on the lookout for, maybe several hashtags that they may see that week so that they'll know what's going on in their community.
Yes, we love it when people will hashtag 4-8-4-H, because then that's easy for us to find those and, retweet them or reshare them or, even follow up. There's a lot of times we follow up after 48 hours of 4-H, about what really happened with the project or, use some of that information for some of our marketing or photos or what have you.
I know that this has been going on for a number of years. Does it look like you're meeting the goals that you're setting in terms of volunteer hours and you're doing all of these various projects? Is it continuing the pace that it probably started with?
This is actually year 9. I looked that up, knowing that we were going to talk. And I think that there's always room for more projects. And I think, coming out of some time where we've, not been able to do some projects, I look for to grow more in the future. I would also say with the fact that it is year 9, it may be time to look at maybe changing things just a little bit or doing something just a little bit different. This project started with our officers from the Kansas 4-H Youth Leadership Council 9 years ago. And so it has gone on ever since then. And so it wouldn't surprise me if some changes happen in the future, but I would say there's always more room for more service.
Well, and we should probably point out the fact that although this is a specific weekend tying in with the National 4-H Week, these types of projects probably go on throughout the year with 4-H members.
Oh, most definitely. And we also know that some clubs or groups, there's maybe some other thing going on in their community that week or some sports events, and they're not going to be able to take part this year. But yes, 4-H clubs do service all the time. And I would say a lot of the service in a 4-H club happens in the spring. I see great examples of that. And then also when we're getting ready for all those different learning events that happen in the summer, we see lots of service that happens then as well.
This is probably also a good time for all of the 4-H members to spend the time working on the projects and talking about the state fair, because I'm sure that's still fresh on their minds.
Yes, I think those groups that are doing a 48 hours of 4-H project, it'll probably be kind of a nice time to get back together. School started, state fair has happened, and so they probably have all kinds of things to talk to their friends about.
And as you mentioned, this is also the start of the new 4-H year, so an opportunity to bring in some friends who might be interested and introduce them to not only this project, but all of the things that 4-H has to offer, because there are so many project areas.
Yes, we think that we have a project that will be of interest to anyone. And actually we do, because if you don't like most of our projects, we even have an option for a self-determined project where you can pick, whatever topic it is that you want to study more deeply. And yes, the new 4-H year starts October 1st. So, that's the time to get enrolled in the new 4-H year and get excited. And I love what you said about bringing a friend, because that is a great way for us to grow 4-H. We have people in our program, love our program, enjoy it, share that with your friends. We would love to have new people come and be a part of 4-H for the 2022-2023 4-H year.
And all of this information can be found, all of the information regarding the different project areas, all of that is available online.
Correct. Our website is kansas4-h.org. And once you get to that main page, you can look up projects, you can look up the activities that we take part in, and how to get involved in 4-H if you don't know where that is locally.
That's Kansas 4-H Regional Specialist for Central Kansas, Beth Hinshaw, with an update on 48 hours of 4-H. This year's annual weekend of service is October 8th and 9th. Again, for more information on 48 hours of 4-H or to learn more about 4-H programs in your area, visit kansas4-h.org. And if you'd like to find out about projects being done in your community or would like to be a volunteer, contact the local county or district extension office. Sound Living is a weekly public affairs program produced by Research and Extension at Kansas State University. I'm Jeff Wichman, and this is the K-State Radio Network.